bit back onto 2024 itself because we had a lot going on, and I'll tell you, winter 2025. There's a lot going to be going on now. I mean, we got a lot that's starting up right now. We just had about a few that are just kicking on, including the return of solo leveling. We also have a lot more elf type anime out there. It seems like 2024, 2025, 2 years of just a lot of elf stuff out there. I mean, last season, well, actually last year, we had one of the best I think animes out there for 2024 was Free Ren. Free Ren was such a good story. I mean, I was talking to some people in the chat on I don't know, it's a little bit slow and all that. Actually, it's a good story. It's a good adventure story. I mean, you look into the perspective that this is an elf that's lived a long time. Most of her friends are either just about to die or have passed on, which basically they were declared heroes, and this is long past to their adventures, and she's seeing what is now considered history, and she's experiencing that through statues and her travels through these towns and people realizing who she is and everything like that. And now that she's taken on some more adventurers to go with her, that she's on her way into a new battle. I mean, it is a really good series. I mean, we're going to see a second season on that, which is coming soon. I mean, this is one of many things on there. Some of it controversial, like gushing magical girls, or some really insane stuff like Don Da Don Don, which was out there. In fact, just to put it into perspective, I think 2024 sums it up with this. And a little bit of this. Yeah, that's right. Stuff like Mashal and Don Da Don Don. Just the insane anime that they were, but they were really, really good. I mean, Don Da Don Don is excellent. I haven't finished Mashal season 2 yet, but I'm going to be getting to that very soon myself. But it was fantastic. I mean, we had good stuff like Dragon Ball Damia, which was very under advertised by Crunchyroll itself. Crunchyroll. If you saw last week's video, there's a lot of problems over at Crunchyroll. This is why Netflix looks like it's going to be the new seated king when it comes to anime soon. On that, it's on its way. Demon Lord 2099. I got to get to the last 2 episodes on that, which was very good on there. Of course, ReZero is excellent on there. Unfortunately, what was it? Danmachi, which is it wrong to pick up girls in the dungeon, has been delayed into the last, 4 or 5 episodes, delayed till spring. And Artafuda, next episode, it's probably going to be the next couple of episodes, the last episodes in that series, are going to be delayed as well. I know the next episode is not going to kick in until about at least the 20th of January. I mean, there's a lot going on in Japan right now and a lot of delays and situations. I mean, these studios are backed up with a lot of work. But also, we got a lot that happened, also. Kaiju number 8 happened to be very good. Konosuba, Mushiko Tensei, Demon Slayer. We found out Demon Slayer is going to be finished off with not 1, 2, but 3 films on there. And there's some ones in between to talk about. You Are Miss Servant, which, I started a little bit on that. There was stuff off Netflix like Terminator Zero, which I said is a good premise for a Terminator movie. I mean, it completely changes the landscape of the Terminator series, the live action movies themselves. I mean, if you haven't seen this yet, it is, the animation is good. The premise is excellent. I'll tell you this. Think of it as a Terminator being dropped in the middle of Japan. Now, understand the rules and regulations of guns in Japan. It's not like the U.S. where, there are gun stores in certain states all over the place. You could walk in and get, sign up to get a gun. And in the case of the Terminator, you go in and get them, rip off guns. Arnold ripping off. Actually, he's done that in several movies. If you remember Commando too. But see, the thing is, in Japan, you can't do that. And unfortunately, the only people that have the guns is the military and the police. So it's not like the Terminator can go to military center or just situations of that nature. He can't just grab a weapon. So what do you do as a Terminator to, remedy the situation? And the remedy was fantastic. He created his own weapon, which was fantastically done. Like I said, the premise itself was good. The story was good. Now, are they going to transfer this on to, I don't know if it's getting a season 2, but, are they going to transfer this to a live action? Now, as far as what Terminator Zero has, is now that it's not only Skynet, there is another artificial intelligence computer that basically is going up against it or will join with it. Depends on how the story goes, and if there is a season 2. And the other one that Netflix ran was Grim Variations, which was based on the Brothers Grimm stories, which was also very, very good. You had like the Cinderella one, Little Red Riding Hood, Hansel and Gretel, The Elves and the Shoemaker, The Musicians of Brendan, and the Pie Piper of Hamlin. I think the best one on there was the Hans and Gretel one, which the way that ended, and that was really, really well done. Because they took it to a different level. And this is what companies like Disney should be doing. See, a lot of these stories that they've been putting out there, Snow White, Cinderella, all these stories were originated, actually some of them from Grimm, and then others that have been there for, they're in public domain. And because of the political landscape that's been going on in Hollywood these days, the writers and producers are scared to pull the trigger on some of these stories. This is why anime and manga has done phenomenal business. This is why Netflix is making money off of anime itself. It's not stuff that they're producing, it's the stuff that they're buying, that they're licensing into their streaming site. You get stories like this that comes out, and it's not talked about a lot, but when you finally sit down to watch it, and it's, like I said, it's only 6 stories. And this was also based on a manga as well, when it comes to Grim Variations. Is you've taken the story itself, the basis, and you've changed it way around. And I'm not talking about being woke like they've done some of this on. No, basically have given it to a new story in itself. Some of it has elements of the original, the way the original story went. That's what they did, is they took the original story. They didn't take what Disney put out and what are the current productions that are out there of these stories. They went back and looked at the original novels that these came from, the original stories, and said, what can I do to this story? Flip it around and make it interesting, new, gripping, and that people will sit and watch. And it did have its, moments in this. And like I said, the Hansel and Gretel story was excellent. I think that had a good outcome. You get a chance, grab that one.
If you like this content, be sure to check out the rest of this video on Otaku Thursday. Every week on Thursdays at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube and Rumble. And don't forget to comment, like and share this video, and don't forget to subscribe. See you next time!